Yeah, there you go. That'll be the thumbnail for this one, actually.
Which
That right
one?
there. That's gonna be the thumbnail.
We want you for Hargrave.
All right, take it away.
All right. My name is Sean Matthew Rose. I'm from Yorley, Pennsylvania. I am a senior, and this is my third year in Hargrave. Over here, we have our guests. Please introduce yourself, gentlemen.
My name is Zach Gross. I'm from Maryland, and this is my first week at Hargrave.
Andrew Choate. This is I've been here for like a month, and I'm from South Carolina.
What about your address and social security number?
70.
We're going to have to ask you to
You could have
leave.
said all three.
Oh, I can leave.
There's an eject button somewhere.
Are you guys actually playing games?
Like in the spring.
Y'all probably will do like.
He was just talking about
scrimmages.
just regular scrimmages.
Yeah.
Against other schools or just
Yeah, the schools.
What are you gonna do after you graduate, Rose?
go to college?
Where? You know yet?
So I'm choosing between Fordham University in the Bronx and Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Nice.
So I heard back from Fordham. So I got in. They gave me some money, and I hear back from Holy Cross in the next 2 weeks.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I want to fail you for the year and fail a couple other guys so we can have you next year. Okay. So,
Got it.
You know,
Yeah.
you can do a gap year.
Acceptable casualties. Yeah. I have a pretty unique perspective when it comes to first impressions because I actually had to beg my parents to come here. They didn't want me to come because they didn't want to let me go, but somehow I convinced them and they let me go. So I came here my sophomore year, and I was super excited. I couldn't sleep the night before. I got there, got all my uniforms and stuff. I was like, man, look at me. I couldn't sleep the night before, and I love learning drill and doing all these military things. But towards this part of the year, especially my first year, it got really hard because I wanted to step up and do a bunch of leadership things, and I thought I was capable, but I just totally wasn't ready. And a lot of the seniors and tax that were in charge of me knew that, so they weren't gonna give me full reign. So it kind of crushed me a bit because other people got positions over me, even though I wanted them really bad and I was doing everything I could to get them. But I persevered, and the next year I got sergeant major, which is basically as high as you can go as a underclassman.
Yep.
So pushing through and putting in hard work to learn and grow definitely helped me a lot. And honestly, being held back from those positions helped me a lot too, probably because I just, I would have gotten there and I would have stopped trying to get better. I would have been all right, well, I'm here now, so
Yep.
I might as well just kind of keep doing the same thing I'm doing
Having
instead of trying to improve. Yeah.
Having something to strive for, and even disappointment in some ways because you have to grind back at it. It really does keep you going. When you look at people who have had peak experiences who feel like they can't go anymore, a lot of them typically turn to drugs, alcohol, and negative behaviors because they don't have anything to fill the void.
Yeah, I heard that Olympic athletes that win gold and silver gets incredibly depressed afterwards because their whole life has been building up to winning the gold medal, and once you get it, what's the point? There's nothing. Your whole life has led up to this one moment, and you just accomplished it, and you're 25. What's next?
What's next? Yep. Yeah, that's really hard for people to deal with, and I think a lot of it has to do with gratitude, expectations, and understanding that success in life is not an event. It's not this one-time thing. It's just the compilation of good decisions day in and day out, and to create new goals and to a lot of the thing too is you notice the happy ones are typically the ones that end up being coaches and mentors. It's because that's where the real joy is. I got less joy in competing in jiu-jitsu than I did from coaching. Million times more gratification from coaching than I did from competing. And I think that's where a lot of them will find their passion from,
Yeah. Just being able to pass down knowledge and see somebody grow into, especially if you wanted to be something and you miss that opportunity and you actually help somebody to meet that goal, then you share that goal. That is the best feeling in the world, being able to to push somebody to be better and see them improve
Yeah.
day in and day out because of them and because of you helping them.
Sometimes, something we perceive as of something bad happening to us could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we never know until hindsight.
Yeah, I used to be really bad with that. If I didn't get my way, I'm an only child, so I used to if I didn't get my way, I'd like it'd be a bad day.
Explains
So,
this explains a lot, Rose.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding. No, you're right. You're right. It's hard, man. It's hard. I remember when COVID made me shut down my gym, man. I thought it was like the end of the world for me, man, because COVID shut my gym down. Right after I moved to gyms because of an issue with the landlord, and then my wife almost died twice. So I'm like,
Dang.
is there anything else? Is something else going to happen? But it actually turned out to be way for the better. But you don't know when you're in it.
No.
And this is what you guys are. The reason why I'm saying this is that you guys are in Hargrave are going to do things you don't want to do, right? And you're going to be around people that you might not necessarily like all the time or get along with, right? And you're going to have to make sacrifices to be here, whether it's missing home or missing a girl or anything of that nature, right? Those decisions that you got to make, man. When you're a teenager, that's your whole world. Girls,
Yeah, I've had. I don't trust no females no more.
no females, no more.
They have broke my trust completely.
I know,
Just
but
shoot off the grid.
yeah, but those things that seem hard now, you heading out the door in a few months, you can tell them, hey, this is what made me into a man, but it wasn't easy, right?
No, it's like it definitely sucks. It's super fun when you get into it, but once you're in it, it's like, man, like get me out of here. Like this is like awful. Why did I do this? Why am I putting myself through this? Why am I I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall every day doing these stupid things. But
Come on in.
Yo,
What you want?
get your butt in here.
What are you doing here?
I can come back later, but my password was changed.
Yeah, come back later.
Thing. Okay.
I love you.
Yeah.
I'll what is it? Your email password?
Yeah, for my school account.
I'll reset it later. I'll get someone to give you the password.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to deal with it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right,
Okay.
get out of here.
Thank you.
All right.
A couple people. I don't know. Blevins. He probably went down to Blevins, and Blevins was probably like, oh, he's. But
It's hilarious.
I can't. Where was I?
It was hard.
Oh yeah. It sucks. It sucks. You feel like you're banging your head against a brick wall, but then once you're through it, you realize you go back home and you realize you're so far ahead of all of your peers. That you're doing stuff that they haven't even thought of.
Yeah.
You're just more confident as a person. You can hold your own a lot better.
Yeah, you're not distracted by a lot of the things that gets everybody else. And what you realize too is that successful people have the same 24 hours you have. And I remembered something that I saw a while back. It was the owner of Lamborghini, the car company.
Yeah.
Someone asked him, "Why do I never see Lamborghini commercials?" And he said, "Because my customers don't watch TV." So that really puts things in perspective, right?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, that sucks, bro.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
So it's Hargrave makes you learn that if you do what's necessary and difficult now, life is easier later. But in the reverse to that, if you're always doing what you want to do right now and what's easy, your life is much harder later. And that separates winners from losers,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. It's that sacrifice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, so let's move over here. New camera buttons. I can turn these into I can put video on these.
Wait, is that
What?
a- is
Each
that a-
button is
that
a each button is an LCD
Oh, that's
monitor.
that's like a stream deck.
Yeah, it is a stream deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to get some cool animations for that. I wish it would show me the cameras right here. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be.
Oh,
that's
a
that's
feed
like,
from the camera.
That's like that 2030 generation.
Not 2050.
You know what I can do though?
2093.
I can I can set up. I can hijack the TV in the military office and put a live feed to this room in here,
Yo.
so they can't hear us, but they can see us.
That.
That
Yo,
would be tough.
Because we can't let them hear us because we cut.
No.
we'd have to cut
no.
some stuff out.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be hilarious? Though?
That would
yeah,
that
that
would be
would.
funny.
Might do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We
Yeah.
should do it right now.
No, then the kids will be knocking on the door for tech support while I'm doing the podcast like that. Mr. Booker's here. Let me go over there. So yeah. All right. So your first month,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So have you started to get into a groove?
A group like
A groove, like get into a.
Oh, like a rhythm. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely for sure. Like the past like 3 weeks was like definitely hard. It was definitely hard getting adjusted here and stuff. Just comparison of like where like I went to school. It was just a private Christian school. It was a good school and stuff. It's just like I don't think the structure was like there and stuff, and like it wasn't like strict enough. So that's why I came here, and I definitely got like the full like meaning of Hargrave when I got here. And like the first 3 weeks were definitely tough, but
Tell me about your first formation.
my first formation,
And then I'm gonna ask
I did
Zach.
not know what I was doing whatsoever. Constantly, Rice was just like, "Choke, get in step, choke," and I was like, and I had no idea what I was doing until he finally taught me how to do it, and it took a while. Like everything's good except my about phase is awful. It's like I put my foot behind my other foot, and then I end up my right foot goes here, and I have to bring my left foot all the way up.
Hmm.
And nobody said anything, so let's just hopefully nobody finds out about it.
What about you, Zach? First formation.
My first formation, 6:15. I heard that little alarm. I was like, well, it's 6:15. Why am I hearing that? Then the Colas woke me up. We went outside. I saw Rosewells. Went outside, and they was like, attention. I was like, what is attention? They was like, put your hand. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. None of this. And like, it was like about face when the flag came out. Only thing I really know what I was doing is like when I was saluting the flag. It was just real hard for me. And then when we was doing the about face again, I bumped into somebody trying to do it, like trying to go in the circle. I was like, nah, I can't do this. I was like, it's gonna be hard for me being here. But it got real better. Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
I'll give you some perspective. So I had Young in here in the last podcast, and if you watch it, he talked about how he had to do his first formation. He didn't even speak English.
Bohong?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
he
I
didn't
remember
speak
him
English.
saying he was like he learned English here
Yeah.
and stuff. I remember that.
Imagine that. Imagine show up in a military school and not speak the language.
That's crazy.
Bohong.
He
Yeah.
should have been here when Shin and Lee are here.
So you have a very interesting story, and I like stories like this because it's a good story for like a reference point when someone complains and when someone doesn't appreciate their circumstances,
Yes, sir.
because things could always be worse, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's go into what happened. Go ahead. Break it down.
So we had a football game. It was against this team. They was already like we always was going back and forth over it, like social media. And once the game was there, warm ups, we already hype, everybody hype. So it's kick return. I get the ball, nobody's blocking, and then I'm trying to run on the outside, trying to get out. Like 4 people grabbed me, and then like another one came and blindsided me and hit me in my spine. And then all I know is I was unconscious. And then I was gone for like a minute. And I heard my name, Zachariah, wake up. I was like, I don't know who that is. I didn't know it was like people behind me and stuff like that. Then I woke up and it was the ambulance, everything around me. And they like put me on a stretcher. I couldn't move or anything. Like from the neck down, I couldn't move or anything. They put me on a stretcher, and I was like getting the paramedics. He called Inova. He was like, yeah, I've been watching this young man for like a minute, and he hasn't moved once. And so I got to the hospital, and they rushed me into trauma, and then they was taking, it was like 20 doctors inside there, like no joke. And they were cutting all my pads, cut my helmet and everything off, taking my earrings out. And they did so much x-rays on me. And then my mom was in the DR. So my sister is here. She was babysitting me. And so they were saying that I was a paraplegic. And I was like, man, like this is bad. My sister came. I had like 3 IVs in my arm. And then I could start feeling them. I was like, all right, so that should mean something. So I'm really not paralyzed. Then later on that night, I started moving my arms. Then the next day, they came in my room and was like, yeah, you're not paralyzed. They just pressed across your spine. I was like, all right, that's good. And they was trying to get me to walk the next day. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. And then it was hard for me because mentally, like, I'm thinking, like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do it. It's hard. But physically, I know I could have. So I got up the next day. The lady came in. They was, yeah, you got to get up and walk. And I started moving my feet. And I was happy. And then I really started walking I was at the hospital for like a week. I started walking like the last day when my mom really got there. And then I started moving my upper body more. My upper body, I started feeling more feeling. Then, so this was in October of 2021. So November, I started like really walking on a walker. That's when I got out the hospital. I started really walking on a walker. Then my dad passed November 19th. Then I went to his funeral, and I couldn't walk no more because she was basically saying my physical therapist was basically saying like the trauma like make me shock again, and then I couldn't walk no more. And it was just bad. It was 2 major hits in my life that was just back to back. It was just hard for me. Yeah. So even like me, like prior to me getting hit, it was a lot after the game. Like I said before, like it was just so much going on in the beginning of the game. Then they started posting stuff of me on the ground and stuff, talking about, yeah, he's injured, he's paralyzed. Just a lot of people just making fun of me, and that was just like a bad moment in my life. Like that messed me up mentally. It was just really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, tough times make tough people, though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know it's hard when you're young to overcome that, especially it's a different time than when I was growing up, because when I was growing up, we didn't unfriend people, we punched them in the face.
Yeah.
So like when you deal with people online where they can sit behind a keyboard and say whatever they want without repercussion, it can be a little difficult. It can be hard on your self-esteem with the expectations.
Yeah, I was dealing with a lot, especially in the hospital. They thought my neck was broke. They thought a lot was going on with me. Like, it was just bad for me. And then like 5 months later, I was really like on a walker. I could walk. I feel it in my legs. And like, so prior to me like getting hit, something was wrong with my head. So we had an MRI, and they thought they seen blood in my head. And it was just like, I was like, I can't play football again. My mom said I couldn't play football again. The doctor said if I get hit like that again, I'll be paralyzed. So I'm thinking to myself, like, if I ever play football, like, I'm be so afraid. But like, it's the game that made me want to go back. Like, I know that like I got unfinished business to like take care of. So I just want to go back to the sport now. Now 2 years later, I'm back to walking, full mobility and everything, and I want to play football again.
So when you were that first week or two is probably the worst.
Yes, sir.
Can you kind of go into the frustration of that and how it felt like, scale it back a little bit and just talk about, the small things, like your day-to-day things. Like, how did that change your day-to-day life?
It changed my day-to-day life, as in I couldn't be independent as I am now. Like, I had to get somebody to help me, but like I feel like I was asking for too much. Like, and like I love being independent. I'm an independent person, but like when you like don't got no legs, like I use my legs I was taking them for granted. Once you take it for granted, it's over for you. Like,
yeah. And
they all gone, it's over for you. So every day, like I had to get somebody to help me use the bathroom. My mom got there; she had to help me bathe, a lot of stuff. Like I had to call them for food. There was just a lot going on in the hospital. Like even with the IV situation, it was really bad for me. Like I couldn't pat my arm, because when the IV is in your arm, you could low key pat it to like make it stop hurting.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't even do that. I kept telling my sister to do it. I was crying real bad. It was just a lot going on in the hospital. Like my coaches was there. They was praying for me. Everybody was praying for me.
So my dad passed in August last year. So it was like 2 weeks into school. So I had to come back. I went back home, and he was in hospice, and I hung out with him for like a week. He wasn't really all there, and yeah, he passed away, and then went to his funeral and came back like a week later. So yeah, that was tough. It's definitely tough, especially when you're in a place like this. You really don't have any time to think about what happened.
It takes longer to process.
Yeah, and it also sucks because you don't get to be there for like most of it, So one thing I regretted was that I wasn't there feeling that same pain. And instead of doing the easy thing, people don't look back and go like, wow, I sat on the couch really well. Like I did a really good job just sitting there, like
That's
watching
well put,
TV.
yeah.
Like no, I went through that. I went through that crap. Like I stuck through it. That was really hard, and I did it. Like, and I accomplished something.
Yeah.
Even if the ending sucks, like you still persevered and made it through the whole thing, which it says a lot about a person to be able to do that.
No, it does. It does. You One thing I'm really proud of you for, and I've never really told you this, was that your ability to not let your circumstances sour you, because it's easy when bad things happen, and that wasn't the only disappointment you've had this year, and it's easy when bad things happen to let it ruin you.
Yeah, you can't. You know, when life gives you lemons, you just gotta make lemonade, bro. Like it's like sounds so cliche, but you have to make the best of what you get, because you don't always get what you want, and that's probably my biggest flaw that I've been trying to work on is, you know, when I don't get my way, like it messes with me. Like if something doesn't go exactly as planned, or something, you know, isn't what I want, like it gets in my head and I get really upset because that's not how I envisioned it going. So I've been taught a lot of lessons. Like, man, you can't be successful if you're just trying to go through a door that's closed. Like you just have to use what you got. So
You can run out of resources, but you can't run out of resourcefulness.
yeah, you gotta do the same thing. You gotta, sometimes you realize that, you know, I mean, nobody really cares, and you still got a job to do, and people still depend on you.
Yeah.
So why sit here and make everyone else feel sorry for you?
Yeah.
You gotta push through these things and, you know, deliver and perform for other people. You
Yeah.
know, obviously it's okay sometimes to take a break, but for the most part, you can't just sit there days on end feeling sorry for yourself, because that gets nowhere.
That gets
You're
nowhere.
You're just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like I said, like who's like, man, I sat on that couch really well.
You said your mom was in DR. Was your dad in the DR too?
Nah, they divorced when I was 5 years old, and so he found out about the injury. So his birthday was November 15th. He died November 19th. So he found out about my injury, and he never called because he wasn't really in my life. So so when he passed, I was like he didn't even call. Like I wanted to hear from him because like it was a hard phase in my life. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't walk. I just wanted my dad, like, or a father figure to be there for me, because I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, my mom had previous boyfriends, but like I'm not gonna really look at nobody as a dad, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I was just thinking about him a lot, and being in the hospital, being unmotivated and not walking just made it real hard for me.
Growing up without knowing my dad, I didn't know my dad until I was, in my early 30s, I think, maybe late 20s. But like, I can understand how that feels, and I can understand that it leaves a hole in you because there are unanswered questions that you'll never get answered.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You can use it as a crutch and say, you know, I didn't have a dad, or you can be the person you wish he was.
Yeah, he has always told me to be better than he was, as always. And when I was younger, like that's all I remember him, like just being better than him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, luckily you're at the right place, because there are a lot of men around here that you can learn from.
Yes, sir.
You know, we're one big family here. Even the guys that are getting on your nerves upstairs, don't lie, you know they are. But even those guys, man, at the end of the day, most of them will have your back. And there's a lot of good guys like that guy right there, where if you ever need anything, he's going to be there for you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Some of these guys, how they'll stop what they're doing and be there for one another, it's insane how well y'all handle that sometimes. And that's a brotherhood that when it clicks for you guys, because you're new here, but he knows. But when it clicks, and then all of a sudden you're like, you realize, hey, these are my brothers, right? Not every single one of them you're gonna click with, no, but there's gonna be a few that y'all will be inseparable for life, man. It's an amazing journey.
Yeah, my cousin came here before. I forgot when, but he said he's the man he is today because of our grade. Sure. So
What's his name?
his name? Brandon.
Brandon.
Brandon Young. Brandon.
I love talking to alumni.
They're great.
Yeah, they're the best.
They're old stories. Like, remember the airplane? We talk about this so much, but these
Yeah.
cadets, we had an aviation program,
Yeah.
and a bunch of cadets took the airplane and flew it to Lynchburg to get pizza.
Are you serious?
They stole the airplane to go get pizza, and they wrecked it on the way back.
That's crazy. Nah,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Pictures loading on my
Young
computer
was
all
messing
day.
with my doorbell, dude. You got to see this. Hold on. Young was in my doorbell.
Where? Which doorbell?
The main hall. So yeah, he was like talking in it and stuff. I was like, "Is that a catfish or is that Young?"
That's a catfish.
You can see how thick his glasses are.
I'm
It's like an inch thick.
I'm gonna make a rap album cover with this. I'm gonna do it.
Catfished.
Oh my gosh, dude! Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, man.
Catfish type beat.
Yeah.
Could be the name of that.
All right, we're gonna read off Ian's internet history and see how he reacts.
I'm ready. Go ahead.
No, man. How many siblings do you have?
I have 2 sisters.
Older?
Yeah, I'm the youngest of the family.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But you're the youngest too. That's an
So-
interesting family dynamic.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Did they ever try to dress you? Don't lie.
Nah.
He's lying.
Well, now that I think about it, there's been some times that I vaguely remember. But
You know, I'm just kidding. We don't have to put this in the podcast, dude. I'm just messing with you. Oh my gosh, no.
All right, we stopped recording. Tell us what really happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me hit the button. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
So behind the scenes of what goes
I'm gonna have to remember to edit this now.
Yeah. You can't keep the whole thing.
Keep going.
Yeah, so yeah, I love my sisters a lot. Yeah, they're one of them is graduated. The oldest one, she's 25. She's a market sales. And my other sister, she's currently in the College Charleston. She's a junior, I think. She'll be a senior next year. And then there's me, the one and only.
The one and only.
Yeah.
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 Do you miss that South Carolina weather?
It's like Virginia a lot. It's like bipolar, like Virginia is, but it is good weather there.
Man, the last time I was down there, I think I was at Hilton Head. I can't remember what it was Hilton Head or yeah, because I went to Savannah the next day. So I was at Hilton Head. I fell asleep on the beach, and when I woke up, I had red ants all over me.
Oh my gosh, yo,
Yeah.
what?
Did you get bit?
Yeah, a little
Nah, the ants just crawled. Just thought he was friendly. He was friendly.
bit. We've all had bad things happen in our life that really put things into perspective on what's important, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, being able to wipe your own butt's important.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I
I
couldn't
can't
do
do
that. Yeah.
But
I can't even wipe my own butt now.
yeah. Come on, choke.
well, according to Blevins, you know, I'm just kidding.
We didn't got
No, but it does put it in perspective. But you know, learning to treat human beings as human beings, and one of the things about the Hargrave experience is that you're all brothers here, and regardless of where you came from, and that's an important thing to learn. And some people don't learn that, and when they become adults, they become unlikable people.
Yeah.
And a lot that comes into success in life is built on relationships. A lot of the people you'll meet here that are very successful alumni got where they are through hard work and relationships.
Yeah, man. Big time.
Yeah.
That's. I honestly have been. I picked the colleges I picked just because, you know, they're liberal arts schools, and I want more of a broader education, but also because the alumni networks are like crazy strong.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least half, if not more than half, the battle. Knowing the right people, to be honest.
It is.
knowing people that can give you experience, favors.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well,
that's
and
the best
also
thing.
knowing people that know you. So let me put
Exactly.
this, because like for instance, in me, like I'm in IT, right? So this is a very competitive field, and because I know people and they know me, they know my skill set and what I'm capable of. It's easier for me to stand out with them.
You don't have to prove yourself over
Exactly,
again.
because
Like,
they know.
They just know you.
Yeah.
So-
and it really helps, and that could be the difference between you getting something you want and not. Relationships matter. A lot of the best things that have ever happened to me, I feel like I've lived multiple lives at this point because I've done so many things in life, but a lot of the best decisions I made were facilitated by people who I was just good to at one point in my life, and they reciprocated. Or I did a service, or I did something amazing for them or their kids, and they recognized my value, and they either they did something for me, or they recommended me to someone else.
Yeah.
And that matters. And I'm telling you right now, the world is very, very small. You could be a jerk to someone today and run into them later. I guarantee
Yeah,
it.
the world
It
is.
is.
The world is. Yeah.
Yeah, so since we all have shared our stories, I guess I'll share one.
Please.
So I think I told like some of the cadets on Echo Company, but a lot of people do not know this about me, but I was adopted from Russia, in Volgograd, Russia, the capital of Moscow. No, the capital of Moscow. Volgograd is in the capital of Moscow. And yeah, I was 16 months when I officially got adopted, and I came home in 2011. So I had biological parents. So Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's hard for you not knowing and the questions in it.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious. Like, I wanted to, like, I've always thought about, like, going back to Russia. I was like, that was my plan until, you know, the Russian-Ukraine beef started. So I was like,
wow.
nah, I'm good. I'll pass.
But you do have some really very caring parents, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just talking to them, I can tell they, man, I'll just tell you right now, your mom will probably like, if anybody crossed you, your mom would probably beat them down. I'm just saying.
Yeah, my mom's my number one supporter.
Your mom
for
don't
sure.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing like having a mom that doesn't play, dude.
Yeah. You talk about cleaning the gym. Yeah, she'd make me do that for sure.
Yeah. Well, speaking of cleaning the gym, so I remember I had a student of mine in jiu-jitsu who won like an MMA title fight. And he came in the gym with his belt and like this. And I said, take that crap off and go clean the mats. And I made him clean the mats. I made him wear the belt as he cleaned the mats.
No, really. Name one thing that you know about me.
Let me open up my phone.
Oh, yo. The
That's one thing I'll never get into because I know I'll get like super.
only
It's a
thing,
trap.
the only
get
thing
hooked
I've
on
like
it.
gambled or like placed bets on was poker. That's
Nah,
it.
don't do it. I do on FanDuel. It's bad.
It's so bad. Nah, I love this place. It's like I've always said I loved it, but you know, I don't know. Just the fact that I'm leaving soon just really is like,
Yeah, Rose, I'm
getting
really,
to
I'm
you
really
now,
gonna miss
yeah.
you.
bro, like I barely know you.
I'm just saying.
That just shows you how strong the brotherhood is. Like
exactly.
me and Chode are like blood brothers now.
I'm gonna have to do so much editing after this. I'm gonna have to do so much editing. I've had Chipotle, Shahote, Shote, chocolate, and cheese stick.
Cheesesteak.
What are some of the things that kind of got you through your first year at Hargrave that really helped keep you focused and motivated? All right, when did it really click for you and you really kind of turned the corner?
Over the summer after my first year.
Can you go into detail?
I loved the first half of my first year. And then after I came back, you know, like I said, I kept being held back to get like different positions. And I actually turned down, I was in Bravo, and I turned down, they offered me the first sergeant of Alpha, and I turned it down because I wanted to stay in Bravo to get the platoon sergeant, which is actually lower. Because I wanted to stay in Bravo, and I wanted to stay with the company that I started out with, and I felt loyal. But I never got it, and other people got it over me that were definitely less qualified, but they already had the credentials, and it was a lot less paperwork. So I was pretty demoralized after my first year. But after I went home for the summer, I was just like, wow, I'm like so much different. And even though it sucked, and I totally just got like, what's another word for shafted? I felt like I got screwed over. So I went home for the summer and I thought it over. I'm like, man, even though I got screwed over, you know, I still came out like so much better, and I miss it so much. But you go home, like you miss it. Even if you don't miss like the school itself, you miss all the people and all the friends
Yeah.
you made here. So you just that's why people keep coming back. People, you know how many people were here, skipped a year, and then came back the next year,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
either because they messed up or they just missed it. You know, the people you can't escape Hargrave. Once you're here, man, it's with you forever.
You can't escape the jungle.
You can't. Hargrave's the jungle, man.
No, did you not get the joke?
You can
Because
you can-
Hargrave Tigers.
You can take the tiger out of the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out the tiger. So
Yo, that is gonna be his senior quit this year.
You
it's gonna
may-
be-
You know, I have
Yeah.
some worse ones from the last podcast that I could probably quote you on. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
gonna be-
man.
If it's not your senior quote, I'm gonna be mad.
all right.
What's your address? I'm gonna come to your address.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna
your
throw
social
toilet
200
paper. Me and
200
Zach are gonna
military
come
drive.
and we're gonna throw eggs and toilet paper all over
Yeah,
your
total
house.
paper. Yeah.
Sports in the spring. What are
Yeah,
we doing?
Track.
Yeah, I'm doing track right now.
Yeah,
Both
we're
doing track?
both doing track.
Got you. And so do you feel like have you pretty much fully recovered?
I think I did. I stopped having headaches because for like after my injury, I had like a whole year I was having straight headaches, migraines every day, just constant. Now I don't get headaches like that. So I think I'm really ready for sports. And I got cleared last Friday by my
Nice.
doctor, fully cleared.
Cool, man.
Oh, so you just got cleared. You
Yeah,
just got
just
cleared,
got
and
cleared.
then you
he
came
literally
here?
he
Wow.
literally just got
After 2 years,
cleared.
after 2 to 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I came sooner here for basketball because like I only got to play like 6 total games.
Yeah, what grade are you in?
ninth.
Man, you've got.
Yeah,
I get
You got
the-
plenty of
I got
time.
three-
You
Yeah,
got
I have
plenty
3
of
more
time.
years
I
to
got
torture
3 more
you. This
years.
is gonna be awesome. Yeah, and you're already tall, so that's.
I'm
that's
like,
rough.
I swear, like, I want to tell myself I'm 5'11", like,
Me too.
cause like I feel like I don't know, cause I feel like every time I measure myself, I'm a different height every time. Like I think the last time I measured myself, I was like 6'1".
Because you got to stop measuring yourself with
But
your
like
shoes
no,
on.
no,
Come
because when
on.
I like compare myself to like
He's on his toes.
when I like compare myself to like, for example, like Mancine, because he's like 6'4", and like he's like right here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like 6'3", and then when I go up to like somebody else, I look like I'm like 5'10", 5'11" or something. So when people ask like, how tall are you? I'm like 5'11", 6 foot. No,
Cook
You
up,
gotta
he's
point,
good,
you gotta
man.
point at him and tell him.
you guys need to do better. Because if you don't, I'm gonna make sure.
No, it's that one. Hit that one.
Oh, it's-
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure you guys hear about it.
I
Well,
purposely
not now.
changed
Now
it
you
now.
gotta hit that one. No, this one right here. This one.
No,
this
no,
one
right
here.
behind you. Talk up there.
Okay. Anyways, so if you guys don't do better this year, I'm gonna be
Got
disappointed.
it. Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Shout out, mom.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I miss you, mom.
Should I shout out? I have a lot of people I want to shout out, but I like don't know.
Yeah, I do too. Let me think.
Can it just be like anybody? It doesn't have to be family members?
Shout out, Gianluca Puglisi. My day one since pre-K. You know who you are.
Yeah, shout out to my mom. The reason why you here. I'm gonna do a lot for you.
All right. I have a.
You take
I have
care
a
of your mom,
list.
man.
I have a
Yeah.
list. Shout out to my mother for being a great mom. Shout out to my father for pushing me to do things I didn't want to do. Shout out Benjamin Heitzman for getting me into basketball. Because without that, I don't think I'd be anywhere right now.
Hey.
And shout out Zach Hall.
Nah, Zach Gross. out Zach
And
Grove.
Zach Grove, both of y'all. Zach Hall is a great man, and so is this guy over here. Because if you don't respect him, you're gonna hear about it.
It just takes one bad decision, and it cascades out of control, right? So the key here is you guys got to keep a cool head, okay? Don't let people get under your skin, and pick the right friends. How many times you seen kids that do awesome and then they pick the wrong friends, Rose? Please explain this. So I don't
So
have
many
to.
times.
Go
Like
ahead.
it's like that's probably the biggest part of Hargrave. Like that's how you become successful. Like your friends influence you probably more than anyone else at this point in your life. Obviously your parents, they got it locked down, you know, when you're younger, but like when you're a teenager in high school, like your friends are really pushing you and influencing you because who wants to listen to a stinky old adult? Like no, like nobody, like you hear crap from them all the day, like all day, like every day. Nobody wants that. Like you want to be with your buddies, and your buddies really shape who you are. So if you're hanging out with people that are not so good and leading you down the wrong path, you're really gonna. That's the path you're gonna be set on for a very long time.
Yeah, it matters so much, man. I've seen so many people slip. So many people seem to be on a great trajectory, and then they just, it's either the ones who get with the wrong peer group and then bad things happen, or it's like they're fine when they're not with that group, but then little things start to add up over time. Like you'll see kids get demoted or fired from their position a lot of times who are actually good kids, but they just make the wrong decisions because you guys understand we're trying to train you to be leaders.
Yeah.
All right, but you do have to learn to follow. That's why this is military school works. But what we mean follow is we mean follow the right people. Don't be a follower. There's a difference. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's an old saying that always sticks with me. The only fish that swims with the stream is a dead one. Don't be that.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta like notice like a lot of like red flags in people. Like for me, I don't. This might be like I don't know if this like kind of plays along with the idea, but like I was talking to like this girl like before I came here and stuff, and I was like getting to know her and stuff, and she apparently like she was like telling me like her. So I went on a camp trip right in like October maybe, and some of the girls knew her from the school. They were telling me like, oh yeah, she's like crazy, dude. She's crazy. She like beat up this one girl and stuff, and was telling me all like this bad stuff with her. And I was like, oh sure, this is true. She was like, they're like, yeah. I was like, all right, if I go ask her next week, she gonna tell me this is true. They're like, yeah. So I go back to school. I'm asking her about it, and she she did like tell it like said one of them thing was true, but everything else was false. And like as I like started like get to know her more and stuff, like I could definitely tell like that personality was definitely there. And I was just like, oh heck no, I blocked her on Instagram.
See, women mess y'all up because y'all will make compromises for acceptance.
Yeah, I just
You guys will
I
dismiss
just
certain
blocked her on
behaviors.
Instagram.
Well, you're a good one for that because most guys will put up with it because they want to be liked by a girl.
Yeah, I know. I did that.
I don't know
People do
why I
wild
showed.
stuff
I don't know
with
why I
girls.
showed any interest.
I said people do wild stuff with girls.
Yeah, they do. Especially when you're young, because I guess it's funny how, in some ways, when you guys are young, you think you're immortal because you have your whole life in front of you. But when it comes to things like that, and it comes to things like confrontations, in your minds, you think this is like the biggest thing in the world, and it's never going to end. You know, like fights. Like
Yeah.
you may get into an argument with a cadet, and then next week everybody forgot about it. But in that moment, it's the biggest issue in the world for you, and it you know. But you got to remember, man, like, if you ever get yourself into a situation where you're like in a confrontation or like a really bad situation, you got to remember a week from now, no one's going to care. You got to roll with it, man. You got to move forward.
Yeah, roll it off your shoulder.
Yeah.
And plus, I feel like here's just like most of it like is all jokes.
Hmm.
I feel like nobody like is like dead serious when they say something.
Oh, no. This is banter.
Yeah, it's just bantering. But like, I feel like some people can definitely take it too seriously, and then it can turn into something.
Well,
But
in
then
the
people are
reverse
just
of
gonna
that,
forget about it.
some people are way too sensitive when it comes to banter sometimes,
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Because you might say something to someone that strikes a nerve with them. But then again, everyone is different. Everyone's lived a different life.
Yeah.
And maybe they've had some sort of trauma and you triggered it by what you said. You just never know with people. You know? Or you can
Touch
make
yourself.
fun of somebody and psychologically damage them for the rest of
Oh,
your life.
yeah.
What if I called Sean fat every day? And then
Well,
the next thing I know,
he's
I,
not
The
though.
thing
We
is,
all
that's
know he's
true.
not
The thing
fat,
is, that's
no, but
true.
what if I did and he developed an eating disorder because of it?
Oh my god.
You see what I'm saying? Because you could punch a person in the face and it'll heal. You call a person, you mess with a person day in and day out, you can change their whole life for the negative.
Yeah.
That's like a mentally abusing them, basically.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, like saying something once in a while is a joke, yeah, but like if you're like constantly joking, like
Like yeah.
there's a quote from the Chernobyl series on HBO. Like if you hear enough lies, you can't tell what the truth is.
Yeah, that's true.
So even if it's
Yeah.
a joke, like it can get in your head. And
Now, don't get me wrong.
stick.
With friends, banter with friends is different.
Yeah.
If you got a close friend, like if you and one of your guys were like messing with each other, that's different. That's not the same thing as.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, what if somebody comes up and knocks on your window, and you roll down the window?
Sure.
You're like,
No, I would do. I'd probably just scream at him. I just look at him, and go ah. Actually, I did that. That's funny. I actually did that before.
Screaming at somebody?
Somebody asked me. I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to call them out. But somebody walked by me one day on my way to mess, and they was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I looked at them. I was like, "Ah!"
I'd have just
They
turned
just like
around.
walked away.
Was it a cadet?
No, it was an employee. No, it was the cadets. I do that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I troll the cadets so bad.
yeah, you
It's-
scared me. You scared me one time. Remember that one time I was like, my parents came home. Like, no, my
Oh,
parents,
you could say it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. My parents, like my grandfather and my mom, were like in the military office, and I had gone up and like taken a shower. I got in a Marpet uniform. I'm pretty sure this was a Thursday. It was like a Friday or Thursday. Huddle comes up, and he's like, "Yo, you gotta get downstairs right now. Mr. Bunker is furious right now. You're in so much trouble." And I run. I'm like, "Oh shoot, really?" He's like, "Yeah, you gotta go." So I run downstairs. I'm like sweating. I'm like panicking. I think my face is getting pale. I go down there. You're there with like my mom, my grandfather, and I could tell something was wrong because like I was like, "Is this a joke?" So I went down there, and you're like, you know what you did. I was like, what did I do? He's like, I checked everything. Just be honest. I was like, what? He's like, nah, I'm just playing. I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? I just ran all the way downstairs, sweating to death, thinking I did something wrong. And you're just,
Dude, I got to mess with you guys. I got to make these memorable moments. It's fun to have the freedom to facilitate experiences for you guys. Like, you know, it may not be the big, like some big moment, but like it's the little things that add up, man. Yeah. And that's one thing that makes Hargrave special is there are a lot of people here that appreciate those little things and will do their best to try to help you and to try to help you grow into a man, because there are a lot of challenges that you will face that having so many different men here and women, we have nurses and administrators and teachers, but like having so many people here from so many different backgrounds, you'll find people that you click with really well.
Yeah, that sounded really bad.
Oh, that's too good.
No, like just being surrounded by experience.
You can't even say it now.
Pause.
When you graduate, I'm sending you this.
I love
Just, send me-
That's going in the yearbook.
that's your senior quote. I love experience, man.
Yeah. No, but just being surrounded by like you said, guys in all different stages of life. Like you don't realize how valuable it is to be surrounded by all dudes until you've been in it. Like I'm so glad I go in all dudes high school. It just takes out so many distractions, and it it allows for like real interactions. Like it's not like scripted. You don't feel like you're doing something for a different purpose. You know, like everything is just like you take it at face value. Like there's no like ulterior motive. you know?
Yeah.
And just especially like when it comes to dudes. I'm not saying like girls are sneaky. I'm just saying dudes are sneaky when there's girls around. Like
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Start doing
Them females.
crazy stuff. When
Yeah.
girls
Them
around.
females
Yeah.
ain't trustworthy.
Most of the problems that plague men are due to females. Not saying the females are the problem.
No,
I
they're
mean the
not.
way we
It's-
act.
It's not girls' fault at all. It's just the fact that dudes are just like
We're like this.
We're crazy.
We got
Yeah,
to.
like,
we have
you
to
gotta-
We have
impress.
to- dominant.
Yeah. We have
It's-
to impress. Yeah. Well, you think about it. That's kind of what drives us. Because honestly, like, if being rich and famous didn't get you hot girlfriends, it would be less of an incentive
no,
to get
nobody
it.
would
Oh, heck
really
yeah.
care. Like
Be
Be
poor.
less successful people. I think.
I'll do it.
yeah, like
But last podcast, we had this conversation where there's a study that came out that said that men, their priority with women is physical appearance, is a huge chunk of it.
Yeah.
For women, it's security.
Wait, that's woman's
Security is
perspective for
the
a
most
guy?
attractive aspect of a man. to
yeah,
a woman.
like being able to know that you're
Providing for them
You're
and-
always
But
going
for
to
a
be
guy,
taken
it's the
care of.
physical appearance for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, but I mean, when that's like every species.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's for,
just basic biology.
I think that's for everything.
Like
Yeah.
you got to realize at the end of the day, we're just like some advanced monkeys. Like
He's got his FEMMAT laid out. He's asleep. I gotta go pee really bad. So our door is also squeaky as heck. I open the door. It's like, and then I shut it. I don't know who it was, but it was some TAC officer. They were standing by when you walk in the hallway. At the end of the hallway, there's a desk with a chair. He's standing in front of the desk, like this, like in parade rest, and he's just staring down the hallway. It's so scary because I got out, I looked left, I looked right, and there's some TAC officer just standing there, just with the parade rest. I'm like, I literally just stared at him for like 30 seconds maybe. I was like,
Rose, this has to be a skit now.
yeah,
Keep going.
I was just like
the
staring
phantom
at him.
tack.
I was just staring at him, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go pee. I don't know what this guy's doing. I don't know if he's done drugs or something, but I'm just gonna go and do my business. I come back out. He's still there, just standing.
Still
in
a
the
parade
What if it was
rest.
Reading
Still a
just
parade
trolling
rest.
them?
Just still up.
I could very much.
Just still at
that
parade-
sounds like a Reading thing to do. At least.
Just still at parade rest, and I just go back in my room, and I was like, what the heck?
I probably would have ran, bro.
Dude, I want to get
I
some
was
stilts
scared.
I would've ran
and like
to-
I was
get like a
scared 'cause-
long coat and just chase kids.
Dude, if you do
that is-
that, I will.
that is
I will,
scary.
I'll punch you.
Okay.
Goodbye.
These two now.
Old Spice.
Until the next time.
Did you guys hear the whistle?
Until
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on.
I
Old
can't
Spice gives you the best moisturizing skin.
Hey, thanks for the demonetization. I appreciate that.
moisturizing skin.
What?
Be-
That's what
be- best Vorontsov comes in here and I'm sitting there trying to like do a podcast and he's in the back with a mic going ASMR.
That's what
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
That's what he was doing earlier. Smacking.
Well,
the
the thing
mic.
was, when we were first doing these, none of us wore the headphones because everything just works, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't even know he was doing it. I went back to past podcasts and he's like, "Hello, ASMR," and I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" Like we had a whole podcast where him and I think it was Momboya were playing with the mic stand and they were ringing this little thing and it was like cling, 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 like the whole time. Yeah, the whole time. I was like, man, it's crazy. Anyways, all right.
Don't sleep on
You
the
had to edit the
floor.
whole thing.
Yeah, that's your. Where's the wisdom go?
Just ask Keelan and Kelson Hudson for a film mattress and they'll give it to you, while wrestling your roommate in the process to give it to you.
Sounds good. What about you? Words of wisdom.
If, like he said earlier, if life give you lemons, make lemonade out
just
of
about
it.
to say.
Yeah.
Well, because lemons are actually genetically engineered, life didn't give you those lemons, so
Arnold
sorry.
Palmer's are the best. Only 99 cents at Walmart.
Never trust a fart.
Thanks,
Don't
bro.
trust females. Don't trust females.
Yeah.
Stick to an all guys boarding school. It's worth it.
It's so much.
It's
better.
worth